Welcome to the Midlife Style School, the podcast for women who want to elevate their personal style and life by design. I'm your hostess, Afton Porter, certified life coach and fashion stylist, known as the Chief Image Creator, helping high-profile women polish their image with standout style in their industry. Through our conversations and insight, I'll provide simple tricks and practices that will help take the stress out of getting dressed in the morning so you can start each day feeling empowered, confident, and ready to take on whatever comes your way. Let's go. Hi, welcome to the podcast. I am so glad that you are here. Have you ever thought about your past and how better it was? Maybe you were more youthful, or you had a rockin' body, or maybe you used to be super successful or knew exactly what you were going to do. And now you're in a place of transition where maybe you're not loving your body right now. You're not really sure what you want to do in the next season of your life. Maybe you look back on parts of your life with a lot of fondness and you loved it, and you kind of look back yearning for that to return. I had a client last week that I was coaching, and she had a really great question, and I want to share it with you. She said, "You always hear people talking about, saying all these positive affirmations, and you should have more self-love. But how do you actually do that?" And I said, that is a really great question, because self-love is not about bubble baths and eating what you want or manicures and pedicures. Those are all great. Trust me, I would love all of that. But self-love is so much more than that. And it's hard sometimes when you just hear, just recite these affirmations or do these loving things to yourself. And then all of a sudden you're going to have more love for yourself. And that's just not how it works. And the first thing that I said to her is, if you want to feel more self-love, you need to think loving thoughts about yourself. And she proceeded to tell me about how she was learning these affirmations and she was trying that, and she was trying to feel more gratitude. But when she thinks of loving herself right now at her current weight, exactly as she is, she was having a hard time with that because she just didn't believe it. She didn't love herself as she was right now, but it was a desire of hers. She wanted to create more self-love in her life. And as we were talking, I was explaining to her, it's so hard to go from criticizing yourself and not loving your body to completely flip and say, oh, I just love my body. I love myself. When you know deep down in your heart, that's not true. And then it feels like you're lying. It feels like you're not being authentic. It feels like you're just faking it till you're making it, which I do not like that saying. I do not believe in that. I have another podcast on that you can listen to. It's this fine line where you hear people say, speak positive thoughts about yourself, but yet deep inside, those are the thoughts that you're thinking, and you really believe them. You can go and get manicures and pedicures and do all those things that look like self-love, but it's not going to feel like self-love. It's just going to be an action. And actions and doing things does not create feelings. It doesn't. You actually do certain things because of how you're feeling. If you are feeling hungry, you're going to go eat. If you feel like talking to a friend, you're going to call them on the phone. If somebody says something and you feel anger, you might say some words to them that you wouldn't say otherwise. What actually creates our feelings is not the action. The action is what we do when we have the feeling. Our feelings come from a thought that we're thinking. There's something that you're thinking that's creating the feeling of wanting to go eat, to call someone, to go hang out with someone, to go on a walk. There's a thought. Oh, I need to call my friend, right? You're thinking about something. If you want to create more self-love, you're not going to find it in the doing. You're going to find it in what you're thinking and saying to yourself. Okay, well, that's really great, Afton. But the things that I'm saying and thinking to myself are not creating feelings of self-love. Okay. As long as you're recognizing and noticing what kinds of thoughts am I telling myself? Just being aware of what your mind is doing is super helpful. So if you need to think more loving thoughts about yourself to have more feelings of self-love, and when you think, I love myself, I love my body, and that feels like a lie, we need to find a bridge thought. It's going to take you from where you currently are to where you want to go. You want to go from not loving yourself, not loving your body, to loving you. So there's going to have to be a thought, a bridge thought, or a series of thoughts that's going to help you get there. What is a thought that you do believe about you or your body? Can you honestly say, I am learning to love my body? Can you say that my body takes care of me? My body allows me to do the things that I want to do? Can you say that your body has helped you birth the children that you have? What can you say that you believe right now? It might not be, I love myself, but it feels better than hating myself. What's a thought that you can start saying that you believe that will remind you? Because when I was coaching her and I asked her this question, she said, well, my body will take me from point A to point B. She believed that. My body takes care of me. She believed that too. And when she thought my body takes care of me, she started reminiscing of experiences in her past of how her body was taking care of her, how all the miracle things that her body has done to get her to where she is today. She was just praising her body. Keep in mind that a few minutes before, she was not saying nice things about her. She was talking about how great she used to look, but doesn't anymore. That she felt so fabulous when she was a certain weight, doesn't anymore. But when she switched that thought to one that she believed that got her closer to loving herself, it completely changed how she thought. So her assignment this week is to, whenever she starts thinking of her past, of how beautiful she thought she was, and says anything negative about her current situation, as soon as she notices that she's doing that, she's going to stop and say, but my body always takes care of me. My body is showing up for me. She's picked her sentence and she's going to remind herself. And every time she does that, she's going to remember that evidence that came to her about how good her body is to her. And when she gets in the habit of doing that, we'll find another bridge thought to get her closer to loving herself. until she gets to the point where she could look at herself at her current size, the way she currently looks in everything that she has in her life right now, and loves herself as much as she did in the past. The way that we are experiencing our life is from our perceptions. How you're perceiving yourself affects how you're showing up in the world. And when you are able to see yourself as valuable and loving and beautiful and creative and courageous and all the wonderful things that are you, you will be able to give the world more of you. You are going to be able to give people you love more of you. You're going to be able to create more impact in the world as you are learning to show up as the best version of you. And that's all we can do. But what kind of life do you want to experience? Do you want to experience life looking to the past and how wonderful it was and how you've lived your best years already and you used to be beautiful, but you're not anymore? Or do you want to look forward to the years that you have left? The time that you have now is the perfect time for you to create the impact that you want in the world. This is your prime time right now. If you're in midlife, if you're a woman, this is your time. This is it. This is the whole culmination of your life. It's all wrapped up in one big, beautiful, gorgeous, fabulous, dynamic, bold package, or however words best describe you. Maybe it's chic, quiet, elegance, old money. However you want to describe yourself, that is you wrapped up in a beautiful package. I love helping women live their best version of themselves, elevating their style mixed with personal development. That's what we do at Style Guide Society. If you'd like to book a free call, I'd love to hop on and allow you the opportunity to ask me questions about your style, what your hopes and dreams and your style aspirations are. The link will be in the show notes. I'm going to give you the same homework that I gave my client this week. Anytime you notice that you're saying anything negative about yourself or thinking in the past about what was wonderful and what is not now, stop where you're at and remind yourself a thought that you believe about yourself that's going to help you create more loving thoughts and create more self-love. All right. Until next week, think like a style icon. Bye-bye.